In 2017, in a wealthy Seattle suburb, a successful tech executive named Daniel Sterling lived what seemed to be a perfect life with his wife Lydia, a brilliant architect. But one cold November night, Lydia vanished. Daniel, with a performance worthy of an Oscar, told everyone she had run off with another man. Her phone went silent, her belongings were gone, and the police, faced with a distraught husband and no body, eventually closed the case. Lydia was labeled the unfaithful wife who abandoned her family. But that was a lie. The truth was far darker. The Sterling's marriage was a pressure cooker of secrets and lies. Lydia had discovered Daniel was a financial fraud on a massive scale. She was planning to leave him and expose everything. That November night, their final argument turned violent. Daniel struck her and in that horrifying moment believed he had killed her. To protect his reputation, his fortune, and his carefully crafted life, he did the unthinkable. In the unlit, unfinished corner of his own backyard, he dug a shallow grave and buried his unconscious wife. He walked away, convinced his problems were buried forever. For the next 8 years, Daniel thrived. He married a kind schoolteacher named Chloe, and they had a daughter. His tech career soared, and he became a pillar of his community. Lydia was a ghost, a distant buried memory he never spoke of. His crime, he believed, was perfect. His secret was safe beneath the manicured lawn of his perfect home. Then came a quiet Tuesday evening in the autumn of 2025. Daniel and Chloe were enjoying dinner when a loud, deliberate knock echoed through the house. 3 sharp raps on the front door. Annoyed by the interruption, Daniel went to answer it. When he opened the door, his world shattered. Standing on his porch was a woman. She was thin, her face weathered by hardship, but her eyes held an intensity he had never been able to forget. It was the same fire of rage and pain he'd seen on the night he thought he'd extinguished her forever. It was Lydia. Daniel's blood ran cold. The carefully constructed mask of the respected family man crumbled into dust. A strangled, panicked gasp escaped his lips. You can't be here," he stammered, his voice cracking. "You're dead. I put you in the ground." It was a confession torn from the depths of his panicked soul. The ghost he thought he'd created was standing right in front of him, real and breathing. A chilling, almost spectral smile touched Lydia's lips. "You were sloppy, Daniel," she said, her voice steady and sharp as a shard of glass. "You were so arrogant, so sure of yourself. You didn't hit me hard enough." She then began to tell him the impossible story of her survival. The blow had been severe, knocking her unconscious, but it hadn't killed her. She had woken up in the suffocating darkness of a shallow grave, soil filling her mouth, her lungs burning. Fueled by a primal will to live, she clawed her way out of the loose, wet earth. Severely injured and traumatized, she was found near death by a reclusive old man who lived on the edge of the woods. He was a hermit, distrustful of the world, and he nursed her back to health in total secrecy. Lydia was terrified. She knew Daniel's power, his influence, and his capacity for violence. She knew no one would believe her without a body, so she made a choice. She let the world and Daniel believe she was gone. She disappeared completely. For 8 long years, while Daniel built his new life on top of her grave, Lydia rebuilt herself. She waited. She watched from the shadows, gathering her strength, planning her return. She knew she couldn't rely on evidence that was buried and long gone. Her strategy had to be different. She had to weaponize Daniel's own guilt, his own panic, his own arrogance. She waited for the perfect moment, the moment when he felt most secure, most untouchable, and as those fatal words, "I put you in the ground," spilled from Daniel's mouth, the night exploded with flashing red and blue lights. A team of King County detectives swarmed the front yard, emerging from the darkness. Lydia had called them just minutes before knocking on the door. She had told them exactly what was about to happen. Pinned to her simple coat was a hidden microphone, recording every single word of Daniel's frantic, self-incriminating confession. His perfect crime, the secret he had guarded for nearly a decade, was undone in a single, terrifying instant by his own hubris. Daniel Sterling, the powerful executive, the respected family man, was handcuffed and led away, his face a mask of utter disbelief and ruin. He was a man completely broken by the ghost he was so certain he had laid to rest. Lydia stood on the porch, a survivor who had crawled out of the earth itself. She watched as the man who tried to erase her was finally brought to justice. Her expression wasn't one of vengeance, but of a profound, hard-won peace. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes the past doesn't just come back to haunt you. Sometimes it comes back to knock on your door. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as compelling as we did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible true stories. We'll see you in the next video.